What the business is, you already know. Faux shit, no whole shit. It's your man, No Limit Larry, representing Charlotte. You know I'm checking it out, boy. Giving them the business.
Yo, we're back. This is Giving Them the Business. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, my partner, Don De Niro. Kebola, he's not with me today. He's traveling. We're live in Charlotte, and we have a special guest, No Limit Larry. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Chris Gotti? What's up, big homie, yay?
Yeah, I'm good. He was giving me ideas for my new start, man. I'm telling you, I need my intro.
Yeah.
But
it's your boy, Chris Gotti. I'm telling you, it'll work.
I'm going to try it. That's a fact. I'm going to try it. I liked it. That's the first thing.
That's what's up.
But, man, I want to thank you for coming. I know it's your daughter's birthday. I want to give her a big shout-out. Happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? What's her name?
She turned a big 8.
Oh, man. Landon, happy birthday, Landon. You know, turning 8. It's a beautiful thing.
Sure.
And, again, I'm honored to have you here. I know I've been down here multiple times. I'm always on your show. If you guys don't know, No Limit Larry is basically the Charlemagne the God of of the Breakfast Club here in Charlotte. He does the morning show, the Madhouse, right? It's called No Limit Larry and
and the Morning Madhouse.
And the Morning Madhouse. Shout out to Miss Jessica and Burpee. You know what I'm saying? That's all peoples out here, but they have a great time on that show. If you haven't heard it, you go listen to it because it's so infectious. And they talk about so much thing, but you have such a good energy on that show.
We do, man. That's what we try to bring every day. We try to bring the city good energy and get people up and get them smiling, get them moving. And we want to talk some junk to them too, you know, during the day. You know, we try to move the culture. Yeah. We got to talk that junk.
I chime in on the live all the time to just see what's going on out there and keep in tune with you, because Charlotte is one of those booming cities, in my opinion, that will be, again, one of the top music cities in the country. You
said that since you've been coming here, man.
I'm telling you.
We truly appreciate it because you keep coming back.
I said it before the baby. Yeah. Before the baby.
Before the baby. You know, you did. Now you did.
He popped up. Shout out to baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you one of the ones who say something, but you keep pouring back into the city. Like, you don't say something, leave, and don't never come back. Like, you come in, you say, hey, listen, I think this is going to pop. You keep tapping in. Then you come back and give back and come back again and give back. So we truly appreciate it, bro.
Man, I thank you again. You know, pressure bust pipes.
Yes, sir. Got to apply that
makes diamonds, though.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wanted to get into, like, some of your career achievements and how you got started, like, out here. How did you become No Limit Larry?
Well, first off, I went to college. You know, shout out to John C. Smith University out here in Charlotte, Betty Ford Road, Foes Up. Went to college, studied telecommunications, and I landed an internship. You know, internships are so important in any field.
Yes.
So I landed an internship at Power 98, and I just never looked back. Whatever they needed me to do, I did. And then on the other side of that, I was creating stuff for them to do. So they was like, man, who is this kid? Like, he keep bringing us ideas, new ideas. Yeah. And the thing for me was like, I'm already in the door. I ain't trying to lead the door because this is where I want to be at. So I just kept creating new ideas until finally they said, hey, man, we got to put you on payroll. Yeah. I said, I appreciate it. They gave me a graveyard shift. I took that and then did a weekend. Then from weekends, I moved to afternoons. From afternoons, I moved to my own show at night. And then, boom, they came with the morning show.
Oh, man. See, the grind is real. So give me the time span that we're talking. From how do you get out of college? Because I'm going to see you graduate. You get that internship. From the internship to present day is what amount of time? So
from internship to present day, it's about 24 years.
Man.
24 years in the game.
So I mean, all right, 24 years in the game. Yeah. Let's go back to when you... The question. So let's go back to from beginning to when it became significant.
Okay.
Because a lot of those years is very insignificant, interning and things. You're building your knowledge and information and how to move about. But, you know, on Giving Them the Business, we want to get to that. Like, when did it become that business?
So I interned for 2 years. No pay, no nothing.
Yeah, just grind.
Then I finally got a job.
Right.
So you imagine 2 years, you trying to figure out how to feed your people, how to feed your kids, how to pay for college. Because I was still in college.
You're a struggling artist.
I was definitely struggling artist. Like, I remember
even when you get that first job.
Yeah. Oh,
it's still insignificant.
Yeah. No, I still remember my first paycheck.
Yeah.
$55.19.
There you go.
What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah. Get some chips.
I can't eat McDonald's with this.
We gonna get some potato chips and some cookies.
But you know, it's all a part of the grind and all a part of the appreciation. Because you know, if they give it to you all at once, like the younger generation want it, you gonna blow it.
Exactly.
Gonna
You
blow
know,
it.
that's one of the things I like to explain. Like, it took us 16 years, me and my brother with Murder Ring, to get to a significant place of financially. But 16 years of straight grinding, not looking back. And that's what I like to show, because all businesses are very similar. I don't care what business you are.
You're absolutely right.
You know, you look at Amazon, he was 10 years, you know, in his garage basically before he became and got to where he's at. He was in that garage grinding, Jeff Bezos, you know, and all stories are the same. I could talk about Bill Gates, so it doesn't matter. It's all business and how they build up to get to where they're at. And again, it's always doing something you love, so obviously there's a passion there.
Oh, so, you gotta have a passion, because people gonna tell you, man, you crazy. Like, but your first check, $55.19. What you doing?
You can come on the block and I can give you this pack. I can give you this pack.
It's very few people that share your same vision.
Yeah.
Very few people.
Absolutely. It's lonely.
It's a lonely, yes.
You know, you go home at night, and I tell everyone, have you watched the Kanye West documentary?
No, I started watching it, but I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, you're doing a disservice to your community.
I'm gonna watch
the culture.
No, Burpee and Jessica
Shout out
Kanye. So they talk
Shout
about
out Kanye again, man.
Yeah.
I've been preaching this ever since there's only 2 episodes. I've seen the first 2. I believe the third one's coming up. But at the end of the day, I tell everybody about this documentary because it's more than music. It's deeper than music, and it shows a passion. If you're really watching and paying attention, you know. I don't want to spoil it for you if you didn't see it.
I heard everybody talk about it. I heard rave reviews about it, so I'm definitely going to watch it.
But there's someone in there, his mother, God bless the dead, you know what I'm saying, to Donda. And Donda, what she did for him is what every person like yourself, myself, any entrepreneur we need. She supported him unconditionally.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for in your life. Like, who's there? Was someone there in your life that was... Like you said, it's lonely. You don't
lonely.
You go home and you questioning every move you made. Like, damn, I'm only getting $55. What the hell am I doing? But someone's sitting there saying, keep going.
Yeah.
Yo, you were great. Or encouraging you in your life. Who is that?
It was my big homie, Nate Quick. It was actually my mentor that I interned with. And, you know, he was already in the game. He was doing afternoons. He was a big-time personality in the city. And I had the privilege to intern under him. And he understood because he had been there before.
Yeah.
And, you know, with your friends around, the kind of friends I grew up around, they didn't understand it at all because they, like you said, boy, that pack out there, we not doing that.
Yeah.
And we don't, so, you know, they had a whole different situation. But he always said, bro, like, just keep your head down and just keep going, bro. I promise you, you got talent. You just got to find your niche and you got to just keep going. And he always poured into me and he always supported anything that I wanted to do. And he actually started paying me out of his own pocket because he saw that I had a passion for what we was doing.
So he supported in every way.
In every way, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Nate, shout out Nate.
Yeah,
right?
shout out
Nate?
God rest his soul.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he passed in 2009, but he was a big supporter of everything y'all had going on. So yeah.
Oh, dope. Yeah. You know, it's so important because, again, with Donda, to touch back on Kanye, she was rapping his old raps, not the popular ones. This is before he was popping.
Yeah.
And she's like, remember, and you could see, like, Kanye looking at his mother, like, in like, complete, like, man, she really believed in what I'm doing and who I am as a person and all these ideas. You know, as a visionary, which Kanye is, he just has all these ideas. You know, as a creative, we're creatives also, but maybe we're not a Kanye type.
Nah, we still
like, honestly, I tell everybody,
you
know, some people are just different.
Right.
You know, Beethoven was writing symphonies at 5 years old. You tell me, you know, I don't think I was even thinking about doing it at 5 years old, but playing hide and seek or something, man. Like,
well, how to go get it?
Yeah, how to go get it? Hot peas and butter. Yeah, y'all youngins don't understand.
Don't know about that. Don't know about that.
But it's all good. They have different games today.
Yeah.
Tinder.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I saw somebody post a meme about the Kanye documentary, and they said the way that black mother poured into that child is what a lot of black moms do, and they don't get enough credit for. But they was like, the way she poured into him was phenomenal.
Yeah, I made a joke. I love my mother to death. That's my queen. That's my hero. Her and my dad passed. But I made a joke to her. I said, "You ain't Donda." You wasn't telling me to keep going. You was saying, you better do this, you better do that. What about my dream?
You go get you a job now. You can get you a job now.
Yeah, but it was, again, I can't, it's so much praise. I can't wait to see the next episode because I believe this is when he starts going through some more things. This was the first two, was the grind up.
Yeah.
Getting signed to rock and everything. Now the next ones is the success and then some of the rants that, but I hope we get to see, because I pretty much understand those rants. Yeah. In your life, when you don't get things your way, what's your rants? Like, how do you go into it?
I think when I don't get my way, I think I sometimes I go to Instagram or I go to Facebook now, or sometimes I just take a long ride, go to the lake, and just look out there, man, and or you know what I do, Chris? I actually just drive back to my old neighborhood. And just see, boy, like this way you really came
Get grounded.
from. Yeah, bro, this where you came
Put
from.
Put it in perspective.
Yeah, that's it. That's my rant right there.
And again, I bring these things up because I believe every entrepreneur, creative, whatever way you want to put it, they need that.
Yeah, you got to have that outburst moment. You know what I mean? Because you get like I said, a lot of people don't share your same vision or share your same creative source, so you get frustrated. Yeah. So you got to be able to release that frustration. And a lot of times, like my rant is, I'll go play sports. I go play basketball, and I take it out on them on the court.
Man, I haven't played ball in a minute. That's all I used to do, to clear my head. Yeah. It's the only time I would tell people. I was like, it's really the only time. For me, there's two things. It was that, basketball, and gambling. But if I go play basketball, I wouldn't think about nothing but how I'm going to break you down. Right. And if I went and gambled, I was only thinking about how can I win. Yeah. So it would clean my head, and people didn't understand it. And then when I finished, I would be more clearer in my decision making. So
that's the same thing for me. Like with basketball, like I play in the rec leagues out here in Charlotte, and a lot of times everything, like my week of frustration, I take it out on the court. Yeah, and then I leave it there. Or that person. Yeah. But they love it, like, cause it's like me in my raw state. You know what I mean? Ain't no cameras, ain't no radio, ain't no microphones. Right. It's just me in my raw state. And you got to go there sometimes.
I get it. We all need that escape, you know. And to go back to Charlotte, like when I say this is going to be one of those cities, let's talk about the music that's coming out of Charlotte now. All these talented individuals that I've been coming across for the 6 years that I've been doing Adventure Music coming here. I was coming here before that, but 6 years with Adventure Music. Tell me, how do you rate the talent that you see?
Man, with the baby kicking the door all the way in and tearing the door down and stomping it and breaking it, it brought our talent level up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give us about an 8 right now. Yeah. I think we're about an 8.5. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think now finally, we've always had talent in the game, but I think finally we're starting to understand the business side. Because a lot of times, you understand, I got talent, but why is this not happening? Or why is that not happening? Because I got so much talent. So I think finally we're getting our paperwork and we're getting our business together.
So talent doesn't only necessarily make you win, though.
Nah, you got to have that paperwork.
I would say that about a lot of artists. I know some of the most talented artists wasn't at the top of the game. Yeah. So they have to understand that it's about finding a niche for your audience and then grow it.
And staying true to that, because a lot of people get outside of themselves, and now you out here trying to do pop lock music, and that ain't even who you are. You out here trying to make TikToks, and that's not who you are.
You ever see the 5 Heartbeats?
Yeah,
I'm country and western. We rap country western because country and western was popping. This is the problem. The CB4 and all of these type of movies. It's really true. You see it, especially people like us that deal with artists all day. So if I'm an artist all day and I'm dealing with No Limit, how do I get to deal with No Limit, Larry? How do I get you to pay attention to me?
Well, first of all, I would say have a following, because like I tell people, most of the artists that I've come across that had a real big something going on, had a big wave going on, they didn't tell me about their music. Somebody else told me about their music. Like even the baby. When I first met the baby didn't come up to me and tell me about his music. It was other people in the street like, bro, you ain't heard the baby? Like, you don't know who the baby is? Like, bro, you need to check this out. It was never that artist. J-Way Sosa, he's another artist out here that he never told me about his music. It was somebody else. Hot Boy Shaq. Yeah, it was. So if you really got a buzz and a wave going on, I'm not going to hear it from you. You ain't got to tell me, boy, I'm the hottest artist you never heard. People going to tell me that.
My brother, he would tell artists all the time. He would tell them, if you out there, I'm gonna find you.
Right.
You won't have to find
You gotta
me.
look for me.
And I tell these artists the same way. I say, because I'm in front of them, I'm more, let's say, active inside of studio settings. Like I'm there. People invite me, I go out and listen. And I said, I don't need the reaction from people who tell me. I don't need you to tell me. Of course you're gonna tell me you great.
Right.
Who
You're
wouldn't?
supposed to.
You're supposed to. I said, but the word of mouth is where it comes from. That's what really brings the attention to people. So it's very interesting. So if they get your attention, what's the next steps? How do they get on like a show or especially in Charlotte, like I said, with the growth going on here?
Well, for me, like if I notice you, I'm gonna reach out to you. Like you said, I'm like your brother. You said your brother said I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna find out what you got going on, and then from there we can facilitate different ways we can get you in pocket, like showcases. Like I might even call you, hey Chris, I got this, man. You tell me what you think about it, or I'll take it to my program director radio station. Hey, check this out, because we got different segments where we play independent artists. So I could take it in myself and be like, look, well, I heard this one popping in the city, but everybody don't deserve that because it's because you think you popping. Like I said, if I ain't heard it from 10, 15 different people, it just might be just you and your circle that think.
Would you ever go on your own gut?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have with a few.
Because that's real. Like if I feel something, we could supersede that process.
Oh yeah. For sure. Not for sure.
Yeah. So what's the politics radio wise?
Ah man,
let's get into the politics of the radio, because the radio business, they don't understand. I try to explain A&Rs to these independent artists, because they say, oh, they're not paying attention to me. They don't realize the pressure A&Rs under, and they're getting orders from a CEO of what to do for the company and how to go about that. And then if they stay inside protocols, they keep their job. They go outside of that, they get fired.
Right.
That's the problem with these independent artists. Don't realize if they don't stay in that protocol system, because they're working for a company and a boss that they have to respond to and answer to, that they might lose their job just because they're doing something with you.
For you. And the thing about it is like, a lot of these radio jobs are hard to come by.
Super hard.
Super hard to come by. And a lot of them pay well. So why I'm going to take a risk on you?
I seen the foreign user. I won't talk about it. I'm going to just let the audience know I didn't want to park next to it with my truck because we got to bring equipment in and out. You feel me? He was like, oh, you could have parked next to me. I said, no, sir.
Car, man.
I don't want to pay no bills here for that. A little dent or scratch. No, we'll go in the street by everything where we're by ourselves.
But artists don't, a lot of times, like you said, they feel like, man, I'm so hot. Why y'all not messing with me? And the thing about it is, like, every time we play a song, whether it's a Jay-Z to a Kanye, we're taking a risk. We're taking a risk on losing our audience.
Yes.
And if we lose our audience, we lose ratings, then they're going to look at me, if I'm the personality that's doing it, like, what the hell are you doing? And radio is big business. You're talking about $1 billion a year business. And then depending on what company you work for, you're talking about a company that owns 60 to 200 stations. So they're like, bro, like, you just can't just go in there and just drop records because you feel like it.
Right.
Even if you know something is hot, you still got to go through proper channels.
Yeah, so it's about audience.
It's definitely about audience and ratings.
And ratings.
Definitely about
y'all
radio.
Still do call out? Is it call out part of the reason you will play a new record?
Yeah.
Like, see, there's analytics that come into someone's record that artists don't realize, and when they get to the station, if those analytics aren't there, a program director doesn't want to risk it. Someone that has their own show, like a No Limit Larry, doesn't want to risk their job to play it. Now, he might still believe in you as an artist, but you're not there yet to get to this level.
Right. And
so
then
there's other alternatives.
You asking me to take a risk that might affect me and my family and how I feed my family.
Right.
And then what you gonna do? Then me and you, like, I get fired, then what you do?
Yesterday we had a great
What am I doing?
We had a great event with ChuckT. Shout out ChuckT.
Shout out ChuckT.
ChuckT's that guy out here along with No Limit Larry in Charlotte. For all you artists that don't know, now you do. Again, incredible event at the Spectrum. Is that the Spectrum Center, which is
where the Hornets play.
Where the Hornets play, and all these independent artists came. And one of the things I told all the artists is, I put the mirror up in front of you. Don't ask me about. I want you to look at yourself. Don't, because they never blame themselves for things.
And they never will.
And never will, but coming over here, I'm going to hold you accountable. Like, we're all grown people, right? We're grown men and women. We make our bed, we line it. There's certain laws and principles that I live by and won't break no matter what.
Right.
Whoever you are.
Right.
No excuses. So when you're dealing with me personally or business that I'm involved in. And what I mean by that is, putting the mirror up is, are you being as proactive as you should be to get to where you want? This is your dream, your vision, your goal. I'm living mine right here with giving them the business with Adventure Music,
Right.
Murder Ring. These are my dreams.
Right.
And I have others, you know what I'm saying? You don't stop. You start adding on and adding on. Now, I'm in sports and other places too for my dreams of what I want to accomplish. But it's very difficult when you start spreading out. I tell them stay focused to one thing. How important is staying focused to one thing?
It's very important to stay focused on one thing because when you spread yourself out, you spread yourself thin. And then you might lose, as an artist, you might lose focus in one area and then you're going to be lacking it. So as you spread yourself out, you begin to become weak because you're
Diluted.
That's exactly. You dilute yourself and you're not strengthening your strengths because you're trying to spread yourself so thin and trying to focus on this and focus on this. It's important to have a team where you can delegate. Hey, you do this, you do that. And the thing about it is most people come with a team and they don't even know it.
How many different things do you do aside from your radio show?
I do a podcast like yourself.
Yes.
What's
the name of the podcast? So we know.
Let Me Talk podcast.
That's right. Let me talk, people.
Let me talk. Come on.
Hey,
Let me
I
talk
like
the
that.
podcast.
I like that.
Yup. It's everywhere you can get podcasts. And I go out and feed every day. I work with nonprofits.
Yes.
So I go out and feed the homeless every day in the city, every single day. And
that's amazing.
Oh yeah. We do that.
Congratulations.
We definitely thank you.
Yeah.
I also work with helping the city stop violence in the city.
Man.
So I do that on a daily basis. It's a lot.
You know, when people ask me about that, stop violence, I said, because they always ask me, how can we fix it?
Right.
I said, when I was broke, I was violent.
And
said,
that's
the
and
minute we get successful, we like, hey, don't you do that.
You're right, because you don't want nobody to mess up your
You
success.
can't mess up this flow. But that's so real. And I said,
Nah, for real.
everybody has to understand that I would take out the whole hood
Yeah.
and go to, let's say, Vegas for a fight. I took them all to Floyd's fight. Shout out Floyd Mayweather. And I would take them to the fight. He'd bring me to the gym. We could go and watch it. Just so they could see the other side of legitimate business.
Right.
Living the life they want to live.
Right.
Even if they on the block.
Right.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
everybody's got something. Whether they admit it or not, everybody's got a certain way they want to live.
Yeah.
That's
Funny, when I went through my trial, the feds would be at the clubs and I'll come in with 30 dudes, 40 dudes, and I don't drink. I say I'm probably I spent the most in clubs and things on liquor, and I don't drink.
You don't drink at all.
No, I'll drink a social drink.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'll take a shot with everybody. I can
right.
drink.
Right.
I choose not to drink.
I feel
I
you.
never had an urge to drink.
Right.
Like people want to go drink. I never had that.
Right.
Give me my water. Give me my juice, and I'm straight. But at the end of the day, I would go to the clubs. The feds would be there. I walk in, say hello to them and everything. On the way out, I would talk to them. But I'm not drunk. And I had a driver. It's not like I'm sitting there driving or got to worry about nothing. But what they got to witness is what I want to do. If in a perfect world, for me personally, is I took all these people out and I let them experience life from a legitimate standpoint.
Yeah.
And I would tell the feds, don't be mad at me because I spent your year's salary in the club tonight. You picked the wrong profession. I said, I asked y'all to come in and get a drink with me. You want to sit here and be mad. I'm like, I didn't do nothing. And I'm not, I swear I'm talking from sincerity.
Right.
I said, y'all could come work with me because I took in, they was asking me why did I take so many convicts and hire so many convicts. And I was like, because I'm trying to help.
Right.
I said, you should be giving me an award, not badgering me.
Right.
Like you should be helping me.
Because you giving out jobs. You giving people
they said,
opportunities.
No, they told me, no, you building the army. I said, yeah, that too. But that's not for anything against somebody. I'm building an army of people that's going to be empowered and move forward and prosper and be good, honest citizens. I have converted. I want to write a book called The Domestication of a Gangster.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing that's missing. Like, so when I hear that work, that charitable work you're doing, that's really the conversion of that mindset because you're a legitimate, but you're trying to explain and show the young kids there's a way out.
Even older men too, because a lot of them they go in and then they have to come back. And if you've done over 5 years in the prison system, now it's changed. Like the world changes every day with technology.
day.
So you have to retrain an individual's mind. And a lot of people they say they want to do that, but they don't. They don't do it because it takes consistency. Like you have to be there for somebody. It's like raising a child. You can't just let your child be 1 year old and then you leave them for 2-3 days and they ain't learn. You got to feed them every day.
Every day.
You got to give them something every day. So
Every day.
that's my biggest thing with every program that I work with. It's about consistency.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be consistent with it, it's just like being an artist. If you're not going to be consistent with it, then leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't even come over here.
And like you said, you need that team because
Yeah, you
you
definitely need a
can't
team.
do it. No one could do it this by themselves.
No.
And one of the biggest misconceptions I see with entitled artists is they see these successful artists, the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's of the world, and they're doing multiple things, the Puffies, and they're doing so many things. And I'm like, they didn't start there. They got there. It's a difference.
Right.
And you have to start somewhere. And I tell them, focus on one thing. You kill one thing and watch how much you get. You'll be able to get everything you want.
And that's exactly what I did in my career. I started out, when I started as an intern, I focused strictly on radio.
Yeah.
After I finished college, 'cause I started interning before I finished college. I had 2 years left, so I started as a sophomore. But as soon as I finished, that was my total focus. I didn't focus on anything else. I didn't have a job.
Right.
I didn't know how I was going to eat, but I knew every single day I did something with radio, every single day.
Yeah. You know, one of my first passions was construction. And I did that before. I did music first, but we wasn't making money. See, my focus, and then people asked me about my journey, I said my focus was really, I had my younger brother, Irv, who I raised and took care of and everything. And again, we had mom and dad and it's 8 of us total, so 6 other brothers and sisters. But Irv is the closest in age. Really, my older brother, Rory, is really like an uncle. Even though because he's 10 years older than me. So, you know, growing up, we didn't have nothing in common. By the time he's there, he's more like an aunt.
Right.
You know,
right.
even though it's my brother.
He's 25, y'all 15.
You know, I don't know if
Gotcha.
anyone relates, but if you understand that, you know, if you got a big family, you would understand it. And same my sister. So me and her were 3 years apart. We was the mistakes. So all of them was 1 year. They're all 1 year apart. Then 3 years later, it came me. Then 3 years later after that came her.
Yeah.
We was both on birth control. My mother was on birth control for both of us. But she's like, she don't know how it happened. So we was just
She's
destined.
still thinking about how it happened.
Yeah. We was destined to come out one way or another. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, again, that time. So with Irv, my focus was making sure my little brother's good. And as a big brother, I always took care of him and made sure he was good. But again, it was just a lot of making sure he's good. So in my career, it was more of helping, empowering. And if you look at all my platforms, that's what I do.
Yep.
So I took what I do and stayed focused on it. Even construction, when I say that, again, I took the whole hood with me, taught them a trade, got them in the unions because it was all union jobs. They was making a lot of money with me. I was one of my biggest regrets is when I closed down because Irv was like, come over to music. I need you to come help me with my production company.
Yeah.
That's all it was at the time. And I did both and burnt out for 2 years.
Would you go back to doing construction?
You know, absolutely. But I wouldn't be in the field working. Like I
Right,
used to, even though I owned it, me and my sister Tina, we owned the company. All black owned, all black construction workers. We did concrete, which is all Italian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when they seen black faces doing concrete, they couldn't believe it. And you want to talk about the racist things that went on in there, it's unreal because jobs, if you understand, if you did a city job, a percentage has to go to minority workers. So they would just get some minority person with a company and say, here, take this money, shut up.
Yeah, but
Shut up,
do the
nigga.
work. Yeah, yeah.
And we going to do the work and this is all you going to get. But
Right.
that's not the way it works. There's a lot of money to be made if you do it. And again, people that was doing that made a ton of money, the black people.
Yeah.
But they really selling out their people because it's fake. And at the end of the day, I wasn't with that. Me and my sister, and we built an all-black company. I had a 37-man crew. I did have 2 Italians that worked for me. But I hired them because they came from big companies.
Yeah.
And they ended up loving me so much, man. They was telling me, because we was a family. Everything I do is more family-oriented. You could feel that when you come
Yeah, you
here.
always say that. So
At the end of the day, and it was just a great time.
you with the construction, you said, would you start it again or would you put it in somebody else's name? Because construction is big business.
Big business.
Big business.
And it doesn't stop. We
Right.
always got
It's
to.
always something
We got to
going on.
build and destroy.
Yeah.
Tear it down and
Start
put
off,
up
let's
new.
do something else.
Yeah, because evolution. It's
Yeah.
technology. You
Yep.
see some of these old buildings, they're too old.
Yeah. And
You got to get
gotta start
refurbished.
over. Yeah.
Take it down and I'll put it back up. I built everything in my career except a bridge, and would I do it? Absolutely.
That's
I just need the right situation with the right people and then build it out again. But it was something because I love going back to see the work I did. Mm-hmm. Just like the music, I could go back and still hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all these things, I could come back to things and still see it. The same with construction. You see a physical thing that, is still there that I built.
Yeah.
And it was just a great learning lesson for me in business, teaching me how to deal with all these different personalities, everything, and then the teamwork. That's the most
Gotta
teamwork.
have teamwork in
that construction. The most teamwork of business might be is construction because you got to get all of the electricians, the plumbers, coordinated with the masons, the carpenters. Everything got to coordinate to get this finished product on time to make money, and that's what we were. We were very profitable.
That's what's
back then. But is there any other endeavors that you look to get into?
I want to get more on the music side because there's so many artists out here.
In what sense? As a label? Because to me, when you say that, I'm like, wait a minute, No Limit Larry, you in the music side.
Yeah. But
you want to get more involved with the artist's career, personally.
Like more on the management side, management A&R side.
Okay.
Because I always think, I don't really have to find talent. Talent always come to me. And it's always some talented kids.
Did you go to any labels? Because you said A&R.
Yeah.
Did you go to any labels?
I've never been to any labels.
I want to call them out because if they don't fucking hire No Limit Larry,
I
haven't.
The only person I've spoken to about doing A&R work first is Arnold Taylor.
Okay.
Because me and Arnold kind of came, like Arnold was before me, before I got into radio. He was already doing the label thing. But I'm one of the ones who was there with Arnold in the start. Me and Craig actually went to college together. So when Arnold got Craig, Craig Martin. Yeah. When Arnold got Craig Martin, that's like my classmate. So like I'm moving product for this. Sound like a dope thing. I'm moving product for them because so Arnold, you know how the record companies used to send the CDs, the tapes, but I was the person distributing it for Arnold. Right. Because I'm coming to get it. I'm knowing everything. Yeah, I watched him build his South Coast thing. So he's the only person I really spoke to about it.
Got you.
But ain't nobody else. But I definitely, because it's so many artists coming to me because I keep it real like you. Like I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like if that ain't it, bro. Yeah. That ain't it.
No, I'm just saying when you say that, like an A&R, I'm like, damn, what label ain't gonna take No Limit Larry?
I really would love to do it.
You didn't present.
Nah, I didn't present. Nah, I haven't presented.
You hearing it first right here on Givin the Business.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to do it.
Yeah, holla at him, and I'm gonna negotiate his contract because you ain't gonna short him. You ain't gonna short this man. Of course, here's the flip side. If you started your own company, say a No Limit Larry company, let's call it Productions.
Right.
No Limit Larry Productions. It's probably more lucrative if you just bring the artist to you and then you just bring them to the label. All you still have to do is talk to the label and say you want to upstream into them. You want a situation where they get like a first right of refusal.
That sounds good.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
This way you control the artist that you're bringing in, because when you A&R, you don't own it. You don't, and I'm all about.
I want to own it. So
I'm all about ownership.
I want to own it.
You know what I'm saying? So that A&R word, no disrespect to any A&Rs out there, but it's a job.
Yeah.
And in our positions in our life, I don't believe you want to have a job. We're not looking for jobs anymore.
Not anymore. Nah, I want to own it.
Don't get me wrong. What we do is our job.
Yeah, for sure.
But we own it. So we're working for us. And, we'll partner with people and share. But again, I'm building my own equity. Yeah. And we betting on us. You know what I'm saying? That's a big part to this whole thing we do, is to see that side of it. And it's great seeing someone from a Charlotte, from here, from North Carolina, a smaller city, but that mindset, that go-getter mentality, because I want to see how do you define that in artists, like to see, because that's so important to get that quality in an artist, because a lot of these artists today, because of technology with the internet, they do a few things and then they want everything given to them.
What I define as go-getter in the artist, if I see you out, like if I know you, I see your music online, but I see you out, you're doing showcases, whether you're performing or not, you're still showing up.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're there because this is my craft, this is what I love to do, this is what feeds my soul. So like I tell artists all the time, you don't have to perform. You just come, because this is where I want to be. I said there was a lot of radio events that went on that I wasn't a part of when I was coming up. Yeah. But I went because that's where I wanted to be. And I can learn something. You never know who's going to teach you a lesson for that day. So that's what I look like. If everywhere I'm at, if you there, Okay, and I keep seeing you and seeing you and seeing, and you posting because it's important to post online and have that Instagram and that TikTok presence and Snapchat presence and Facebook presence. If you're posting, you telling me about what you got going on in the studio, your day-to-day life, you're not only bringing me in, you're bringing in fans.
Right.
Or you have an opportunity to bring in fans. So I definitely look for that and merchandise. If you're an artist that got merch, then I think you definitely you're on the right path to being a go-getter.
Merch costs money.
Well, that you know what they tell me? You put money into yourself.
Yes,
that's
why I said
you got to be able to put money into yourself.
It means you have a little budget.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, you got to figure that out. Everyone's, someone else yesterday at the event, they asked me about what can they do, and I'm like, that's your journey. What are you asking me for? You want me to tell you there is no blueprint.
Right. But look, Chris, a lot of that stuff don't even cost a lot of money. T-shirts. You could say my budget is $100. I can go to a T-shirt person, bro, and it's so many that print. Bro, I got $100. How many shirts did I get?
Yeah.
If I get 50, I can sell, or if I get 10, I
Whatever
can sell those 10, put it back in, and get another 10.
Right.
But it's so if I did that 10 times, now I got 100 shirts that I've distributed throughout the city.
Yes.
So a lot of people think, man, I need a $200,000 budget. You might eventually need that.
Yeah, not
but
now.
You don't need it all you don't necessarily mean I need it all at one time.
Yeah.
I can get 200,000. I can 1,000 this week, 2,000 next week,
And
500.
them shirts will be sitting there getting old.
Right.
They're going to sit there and get old.
You gotta
You
build
get a
them
bunch of shirts. I've been through that so many
Yeah.
times and explained to these artists they're going to get old or you're going to give it away to all your friends and you're not going to make money and you're going to be like, it's a bad business.
Right.
No, you're a bad businessman.
Right. Or either that, or you get merchandise, you can get merch stickers. It only costs me 20 cents.
That's
10
right.
cents.
That's right.
So this is easy stuff you could do. And I think a lot of people do that, like they shoot themselves in the foot before they even do anything. Like you talk yourself out of something before you even try it.
Yeah. No, we had again. This is a great conversation. I want to know if there's anything that you have on the horizon coming up.
Working on my podcast studio.
Yeah.
Like we talk about ownership. So I was doing a podcast. I was doing it in other people's studios.
Why do you want to get into the podcast business?
Because as a radio personality, it's the next natural step.
Yeah.
Because one day that company gonna say, hey, we either want to move you or we want you to leave.
But the podcast will up your value.
Up my value, and I'm here forever.
Either they got to put up more money or
right.
Bye, Felicia.
Right. And one thing about audience, you carry your audience with you. Like just because people listen to you on the radio,
Absolutely.
they'll come listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
They know that's gonna be raw and uncut.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to hear that raw and uncut side of you.
Yeah.
So it's been building. So I'm currently building my own podcast
It's exactly
studio.
why I started mine.
Yeah.
Exact reason. And I've been talking about it before Givin the business. Me and De Niro and Dex Diamond, and we had a radio show, internet radio show called El Punto de Spot. So it's a bilingual show.
Oh, that's dope.
Because of De Niro, he's Cuban, and so that was my bilingual side. So, and we did it, and I started that, and we had a 2-hour set on a Thursday night. We was getting over 300 on the internet station. We was getting over 350,000 listeners that we could see the IP addresses.
Right.
So it's no game. It was
Right. I know exactly how it works. I know exactly.
On radio, technically on radio, you couldn't tell me how many people was listening, where, nothing. I get their location and their IP address. So I knew how many people was listening in Panama, in Colombia, in America, all over. I mean, we had a real good following. That's what made me say, and then COVID hit and we had to stop. And then because COVID hit, I was like, I want to get back to it, and that's what made me do a podcast, because it's the right fit. And I could do it in a setting like this. Here we are in Charlotte, you know what I mean? Shout out, what's the name of this? Crown Station.
Crown Station,
Shout out Crown Station for letting us host here in Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? And again, we can come and set up, bring my cameras, everything, and start going. Right. And that's what I want to do. That's part of the angle I'm going at. In the perfect world, I'm going to go get a new Sprinter, kit it out. I don't want to tell all my ideas, but
Right.
But that's one of the things I'm going to do. I want to be able to pull up on you.
Yeah.
Pull up on me.
Pull up on me.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to pull up on you and just get all of that right there.
Yeah, and another reason I wanted to do mine was because it's a lot of people, like you said, with politics and radio, you might not necessarily can interview. On a podcast, I can interview, especially if it's mine, in my own studio, I can interview who I want to, when I want to, how I want to.
That's right.
So that was another reason, just about being an owner, being in ownership. So
that's what's up, man. I want to again, any people you want to shout out, give us your Instagram.
Oh yeah, media. Man, shout out Miss Jessica, the girl next door.
Yes.
Comedian Burpee, Mr. Incognito.
Yes.
at the radio station at Power 98. You can listen to us
Madhouse.
online at power98fm.com. We got an app, Power 98 FM. We on 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. the same time the Breakfast Club on. We beat them in our city. No
Say
shame.
less.
We beat Steve Harvey in our city. We beat Ricky Smiley in our city. You know, they all here, but they all get whooped because we're number one. And that's, you can look it up. Numbers don't lie. But shout out to all them. We all
People
do.
lie.
I'm just talking though, because we all
you
like,
supposed to.
Yeah, we all.
Those are big things.
No, we all do
shout
the
out
same
Steve
thing.
Harvey and the Breakfast Club.
Man,
It's nothing. Listen, it's a friendly competition.
Oh yeah, that's it. Cause they make way more money than I do, so it really ain't no competition. Cause they winning.
They winning on
they
the
winning,
numbers.
but they not winning.
They winning
you know
on
what I mean?
those numbers, but not
they
on
winning
these
though.
numbers.
I'm trying to get to their level. But nah, shout out to Steve Harvey. I got a cousin that actually helps produce his TV show.
Nice.
His name is Kenneth. So shout out to Steve Harvey.
You know, me and Steve go back.
I've been trying to connect
so
with him
many
because
youngs. I don't have his numbers no more.
I haven't seen him since Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
And I was like if you watch Kings of Comedy, I'm one of the DJs that's in there. It's Nate, and then it's me. I'm the other DJ that's in there that interviews him, Bernie, Said, and DL.
Yeah. So we used to go gamble. We used to gamble at like the Bellagio and different places. And shout out his security guard. I don't know if Boomerang's still
Big
around.
Boom.
Yeah. I haven't seen him or what's he up to, but you know, Big Boomerang and Steve, we go gamble and sit there. But we met from the radio, from from all the music stuff. But just a great dude, man.
Yeah, now Steve is
so
good
happy
dude.
for all his success, man.
Yeah.
Keep killing it, man.
I just told him leave some room for me, man. You're doing Family
I
Feud.
tell everybody.
You're doing TV. Save us some room, man. God dang.
Hey, Coke ain't and Pepsi ain't worried about what Coke
They're
doing.
They're not.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They're
See, that's part of what we, as in our culture, we always thought it had to be one.
Right.
No, there could be 10.
Right.
There could be 100. Just understand that. And we don't have to destroy each other to do
Right.
it. And that's what this is all about.
Nah, yeah, shout out to them guys. I was just
I know.
joking.
No,
Love
but
all them guys,
but
man.
listen to me, you have the right to. Look,
Yeah.
it's like that friendly competition. You have the right to, like, your achievements, man.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It broadcasts here in Charlotte.
Yeah, they do. They do.
It's just not their fault that you beating it, you busting their ass. That's what
But
it
nah, man,
is.
shout out to the whole 704. Shout out to Zoo Wear Apparel, man. So, we got the clothing game on lock for the last 2 years. So shout out to them. Shout out to my man, Boss of the City. And my Instagram is I am No Limit Larry on everything.
That's what's up. Man, I thank you again.
Man, thank you.
Shout out
Appreciate
again, Jessica and Burpee. You
Oh,
know,
my
that's
man,
family.
DJ Shark, too. Can't leave him out.
And Incognito,
And
you heard? Yeah. Incognito, all much love. Thank you guys again. Great show. And thank you, Larry, for pulling up on me.
Man, thank you anytime. I appreciate the love as always.
All right, my man.